I want to give you a little bit of advice and a couple of tips about a quiz that you can take to find out your eating type. Because what I've noticed when counseling others and even presenting in groups is that some people have a much easier time at transitioning into a new type of eating. Some people really struggle with it. For others, it takes a little while, and then they're in a new mode and a new way of eating and living. And for many, they give it a try, they can't do it, and they just go back to whatever they were doing. I would like to invite you to take my eating type quiz, because there are 3 broad eating type categories that will really make a difference in how you transition and how you can provide yourself with sustainable results by understanding the type of eater that you are. So the 3 types of broadly category eating types are healthful, that's the first one. So people that start out on a new diet or a new way of living and eating that are already on a healthful pattern usually have a little less difficult time because they've been spending some time disciplining themselves, reading up, learning what they can on making the transition. Although there are going to be some tips for even healthful eaters and how they can stay on the same path, because it's very easy also to get off track. The other is an emotional eater. Are you the type of person where if you are lonely or bored or sad, that you know that you're eating foods that you shouldn't be, but you can hardly stop yourself? This is a roller coaster that many of us are on. And if you're starting out trying to make some healthful changes and you don't realize that you're already an emotional eater, that's going to be a way to really detour your efforts. So I think it's important to understand that eating type as well. I know in social situations that are stressful, many people become emotional eaters, and sometimes when we're not feeling good, we become an emotional eater. I call that self-medicating with food, so that you know that there are foods around that, they're comfort foods that we call them, and we eat them because it helps us get through these certain periods. And if you have a lot of the emotional ups and downs with eating, that will detour some good practices that you're trying to make. So in the quiz, if your score shows that you're an emotional eater, there are also suggestions as to what you can do to change that or work with that. And then the third type of eater is the mindful eater. I would say that's probably the smallest percentage of people that I have come across, but they are out there, and it's wonderful to be a mindful eater. A mindful eater really knows what they need to sustain themselves. They think about what they're going to eat before they eat it. They're less prone to grab things at a party or a social situation. They savor the food that they are eating. They make sure that they take their time. They take just a few bites, chew it a little bit, chew to then digest the food, maybe talk in between. But the mindful eater, we also could call this meditative eating, has become more and more popular. How do we get there? That's another question. So in the quiz, if your score shows that you are a mindful eater, there is also a report that shows what you can do to sustain either being a mindful eater or becoming one. So I hope these tips will help you. 3 types of eating patterns, important to know if you're starting out or if you're already on a new journey trying to keep yourself on top health, keep your immune system healthy. It's good to also know what type of an eater you are. And I've learned these things by what I would call peeling the onion. I've had to peel the onion back, talking to people, counseling people, speaking in groups, to be able to identify what holds people back and what helps them to move forward. So I hope you like the information. I'll put the link to the quiz in the description below. Please subscribe to my channel and you will receive some more good tips that you may not find anywhere else on the internet, or maybe you will, but you'll find these to be very helpful. Thank you.